Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of A Cuppa with Climb. For those of you tuning in for the first time, every month I sit down with our in-house specialists to discuss industry trends and game-changing solutions. Today I'm joined by our vendor marketing manager Selina to discuss our new vendor Sonatype. Thanks for joining me today, Selina. Could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role?
Yeah, of course. My name is Selina Wilson. I'm the vendor marketing manager at Climb, and I work closely with our strategic vendors like Sonatype on campaigns to make it easy for resellers to understand the vendor's offering.
Brilliant, thanks for that. In this episode, Selina will answer the following critical Sonatype questions. First, what solution does Sonatype offer? What is the need for Sonatype's solution? Why does open source code need securing in the first place? What differentiates Sonatype from other open source code security solutions, and who uses it? So let's dive straight in with an overview of the Sonatype solution.
Yeah, sure. Well, everyone has heard of DevOps and knows the concept. It's loosely defined as putting in place a set of practices that combines software development, dev, and IT operation, ops, with the aim of shortening the software development lifecycle to provide continuous delivery. But the question is, how are those increasingly automated practices kept secure? That's where Sonatype comes in. They add security into the lifecycle, making it DevSecOps. The idea is to automatically build in security at every phase of the software development lifecycle, enabling development of secure software at speed.
Brilliant. And for those who often wonder if security really should be at the top of business priority, what is the need for these solutions?
So software is constantly being developed around the world and across every vertical without exception. From banking to manufacturing and healthcare, you name it. They're all developing software and rely heavily on open source software to enable that fast development. But that is not the only need to increase security, though. Since President Biden announced his executive order concerning cybersecurity back in May of this year, the UK has also taken steps to further protect against supply chain attacks. The initiative is part of the nationwide cyber resilience efforts set forth by the UK's National Cybersecurity Strategy to safeguard businesses and organizations that increasingly rely on technology from cyber attacks and to strengthen digital supply chain security. Unfortunately, with such a high dependence on open source software, threat actors are increasingly looking to target the global supply of open source to exploit software later down the line by implanting malware at the source. The difficulty is that open source code is free to access, modify, and update by anyone at any time.
Hang on a minute. So you mean that even I could go in and edit open source code if I wanted to?
In theory, yes. If you did some research and learned the basics, for sure. Thinking on that, imagine you're a developer using open source software in your work. You're going to naturally be skeptical of free software from a source of unknown origin, as strangers have unknown skills and motivations. Being able to implement a level of security into this process can be invaluable to a developer who's potentially borrowing thousands of things from open source. Having the peace of mind that you're using a supply of open source with no known vulnerable parts is a huge comfort. Coming full circle back to some of my original comments, Sonatype is all about empowering developers with quality data to make the best decisions.
That's really interesting. So what would be the exact consequences if businesses left it exposed or used code that wasn't labeled as having no known vulnerable parts?
Yeah, great question. As I mentioned earlier, every single vertical is continually producing and creating new software. And roughly 80 to 90% of all code that is used in creating software comes from open source. So the danger of using open source code that's not safe can be really catastrophic for an organization. There are already daily news stories about organizations being hacked or suffering from data breaches. All of these can be traced back to vulnerable software. These companies, ranging from local authorities to multinational organizations, are losing millions of pounds to ransomware and fines for their lack of compliance. Not to mention the financial damage companies can face from losing loyal customers after taking a knock to their credibility. One of the simplest ways to prevent cyber attacks is to make sure developers who are creating software are using code which contains no known vulnerable parts. Prevention is better than cure, right?
That's certainly what they say. Well, in that case, there's no arguing that there is a need for securing open source code. It's essentially similar to Wikipedia in the sense that absolutely anyone can go in and edit the pages, so the information isn't always reliable. Using a solution to secure open source code is like having a plug-in fact checker. However, like fact checkers, there's so many DevSecOps solutions out there on the market. So why Sonatype? What makes them stand out from their competitors?
Yeah, to articulate the full value of the Sonatype offering, you need to look at the responsibilities of the teams who will be using the solution. Top-performing DevOps teams look to do 6 things to automate and scale governance controls across every part of the software development lifecycle. So first, they want to block bad components at the front door before they even become a problem. Second, they want to empower with precise intelligence to select the highest quality components. Third, they want to analyze application quality and enforce their chosen policies. Fourth, they want to maintain a reliable repository containing trusted components. Fifth, they want to verify the quality of components and containers at the time of deployment. And finally, sixth, they want to continuously monitor production applications for newly discovered vulnerabilities.
And Sonatype can help with all of these different areas.
Yeah, so the Nexus platform enables all of these things. It starts with the Nexus repository, which serves as a local parts warehouse where you house trusted components. Then goes on to the Nexus firewall, which automatically blocks defective components from ever entering your pipeline. And then to the Nexus lifecycle, which delivers precise components intelligence to developers, provides automated policy enforcements within build and deployment tools, and also allows developers to continuously monitor applications in production.
I see. So essentially, you're saying that the Nexus platform is a solution that will protect and secure at every stage of the software development lifecycle. Who would you say is the primary target audience for these products?
Well, the intended audience for Sonatype solution truly sits in all verticals, as all verticals are continually needing to create new software. Where there's new software being created, there's potential insecure open source code being used. So any member of a DevOps, DevSecOps team, IT engineers, IT managers, or frontline IT staff who are creating and publishing software should really be thinking deeply about how they source their code for their applications and how even a single data breach could impact their organization.
Well then, it is clear that the Nexus platform is a necessity for all developers using open source code when creating new software. That concludes our questions for today. We have covered and answered the following. What solution does Sonatype offer? What is the need for the Sonatype solution? Why does open source code need securing? What differentiates Sonatype from other open source code security solutions, and who uses it? Thanks again for joining me today, Selina. We're looking forward to developing our relationship with Sonatype further in the future. To find out more about Sonatype, check out their vendor hub on our brand new Climb website. The link will be in the video description. To inquire about Sonatype for your customers, email our specialist sales team on sales@climbcs.co.uk. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, share, and comment your feedback in the comments, and stay tuned for the next episode of A Cuppa with Climb. Bye, guys.
Bye.